Brenn was convicted of involuntary manslaughter.
The violence captured national headlines and fueled true crime podcasts.
After she was finished stabbing Chad 108 times.
So extreme, it drove some to protest.
Justice for Chad! She's a murderer! She's been convicted! She needs to go to prison!
Now the woman behind the mugshot is ready to talk.
I mean, this is her choice. This is nobody making her do anything.
I'm just like sweating bullets right now.
And here she is. Got high, probably got a bad dose of ganja, then ended his life. His name's Chad. Ironically, he was Chad. But what made her do it?
It sucks.
Come on, this way. Good girl. Good girl.
Brenn Spacer is home where she grew up in northwest suburban Bloomingdale with 3 brothers and a lot of pets.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So this is the norm.
Brenn was diagnosed at an early age with hearing loss. She's worn hearing aids since she was 4, and she discovered a passion for helping others with the same disability.
Okay, I mean, that's interesting. Animal lover. Seems like a nice, lovely woman. Seems like. So what would make her go so far as to end a man's life just because of a bit of weed? Really? Really? But as an example, look at this woman. Lovely, professional, educated, independent woman. Nice. But this is a good example of looks can be deceiving. Very.
I knew that was exactly what I wanted to do, is to work in the audiology field.
After earning her master's degree from Washington University in St. Louis, Brenn moved to Los Angeles to start her career as an audiologist. Her hearing service dog, Aria, by her side. The two spent much of their free time at a dog park in Thousand Oaks in the spring of 2018.
Before work, after work, and I would be there for hours just to let her have fun and get to know people in the dog park area.
One of the people Brenn got to know was Chad O'Melia. A few weeks after they met, Chad was dead. Brenn charged with his murder.
2 weeks?
I had no intention to hurt him. I never would hurt anybody.
It was Memorial Day weekend. After a visit to the dog park, Brenn and Chad went back to his apartment where he offered her marijuana in a bong. It was legal. Brenn was an inexperienced user. What happened next shattered 2 families when Brenn unexpectedly became violent.
It was the most horrific thing to watch, because there was no thought or emotions or motors, feelings, sensory feelings of any kind. There was nothing. I never would hurt anybody.
Okay, her first time trying it, he supplied it, okay? But for your first time trying marijuana to get so extreme, I mean, that is odd. A lot of people tend to get the giggles and get really just high when they first try it. But to go on a psychosis, a murderous rage, pierce a man 108 times, 108? Personally, I believe there's something more going on here. There's something deeper going on, but let's just watch.
Nothing. And it was just like I was watching a TV screen of just all this awful thing happening.
With what prosecutors say was 3 knives from the kitchen, she stabbed Chad, the serrated edges of the knives leaving...
What? 3
knives from the kitchen.
3 knives. Like, how does that even make sense? What, one wasn't good enough, one wasn't strong enough, sharp enough? What was it? 3 different ones. Okay.
Him with 108 wounds. Brenn even stabbed her dog, Aria, and herself.
Dissociation of reality. And you don't have no sense of time. You have no sense of judgment, morality, emotions. It's the scariest thing.
Ventura County Sheriff's deputies responded, their body cameras recording. That video evidence remains under seal, but both Brenn's defense team and the Ventura County prosecutor have watched it many times.
Okay, all right. Because I wanted to go into this a bit raw. She stabbed her dog as well, and herself. Okay, I did not see this part of the video. Damn. Yeah, clearly, this is something going on. Look, you can blame the weed all you want to. This is beyond the weed. I think this woman has a very, very serious problem that one could say, yeah, the weed induced it, brought it out of her. But the point is, isn't that already in her? She's a pet lover, but she stabs her dog. Okay.
She carved up his face. The stabbing was horrific.
One of the deputies shoots her with a taser gun 4 times. So these electrical wires go into her body 4 times. She keeps stabbing herself.
Another deputy forced to use his metal baton for the first time in his career. It took 9 blows to break Brenn's arm, finally freeing the knife from her hands.
They saved my life, and I'm forever grateful
Wow.
for them.
Brenn, covered in blood, was rushed to the hospital where she underwent surgery and survived her 43 stab wounds. Her mom flew from Chicago to take care of her.
Damn. I probably should have watched this all the way through. Wow. I'm honestly lost for words. I didn't think it got that bad. Chad's effed. And from the way she was going on and attacking herself as well, yeah, you can just imagine how effed Chad must have been, bro. Damn. But again, still because of a bit of weed. Okay.
Go and ask Chad. Ask Chad what happened. I don't know what happened.
It was just a matter of trying to just consciously waking up. It was a matter of trying to explain to the detectives what I was experiencing, but saying it in a way where it was like, but I know I didn't do it, but I saw this happening.
Brenn spent 6 days in jail.
6 days. 6 days. 6 days. Correct me if there's anyone listening who knows anything about the law in the USA. 6 days. 6 days. Not even a full week. She ended a man's life. She was difficult for the police to even arrest. 6 days, I'm actually confused.
Brenn spent 6 days in jail. Prosecutors initially charged her with murder, but over the course of the years-long investigation, just months before her trial, they reduced the charge to involuntary manslaughter.
Wow.
The reason? Experts on both sides agreed. Her actions were the result of a cannabis-induced psychosis.
This is really
Okay. Before we carry on, let's address an elephant in the room. If this was a man, would he have had the same treatment? Would he have been seen as a psychosis induced by marijuana, or just a man doing what they say men just do for no reason? I'm just asking the question. 6 days and someone's not alive anymore. Okay.
rare, but it can happen. It's known to happen. There's been human experimental studies that have shown that if you give people high levels of THC directly to their bloodstream, you can elicit psychotic symptoms.
At Northwestern University's Feinberg School of Medicine, Dr. Sachin Patel studies how cannabis and its primary psychoactive compound, THC, affect the brain. He says those most at risk of experiencing cannabis-induced psychosis are people with mental illness or people who have a family member with a psychotic disorder.
Is it possible for someone to become violent when they wouldn't normally be?
It's possible, depending on the degree of psychosis. So if people are perceiving things in the environment to be threatening, for example, that they ordinarily wouldn't, or when there actually is no threat, certainly one reaction of that could be, for example.
Now, I understand what he's saying. I've known people in real life who fell off the wagon just from smoking weed. They completely fell apart. Family history does matter. That means there could have been someone in her bloodline from the past or currently who suffers from a similar sort of psychosis, but they've probably just never tried weed. But damn. Still 108 times with 3 different, okay.
Example, fear or withdrawal. Under certain circumstances, it could be heightened aggression.
Nope.
Late last year, a jury convicted Brenn.
When you were waiting for that sentencing, what did you think was going to happen?
Oh, I really thought I was going to prison.
But that's not how the judge saw it. Court transcripts quote him saying, "No one could have foreseen that a single hit of marijuana that night would have caused Miss Spacer to have a total psychotic break from reality. Certainly not Chad, and certainly not Miss Spacer. In light of these facts, I do not believe that further incarceration of Miss Spacer is appropriate."
Get up there. Good boy.
He sentenced her instead to 2 years probation and 100 hours community service, specifically educating the public on the dangers of THC.
That this judge absolved this defendant of really any responsibility other than the fact that she's convicted sends a very dangerous message.
It does. It very much does. It very much does. The way I see man or woman who did this, they could just blame it on the weed, say, it was the weed. I was a bit high. Completely lying. There could have been another reason, a real reason, but no, let's blame this substance. Easy to blame a substance. I was drunk. I was high. My bad. But still, I'll call cap on this.
His father calls the sentence a travesty of the system.
What does she have to do? Nothing after taking another human being's life?
No.
That's not accountability. Probation, talking to people. I mean, that's not justice.
And what do you want the Amelia family to hear from you now?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that they have to
Live
live
with that son
with a hole in their life and
because you
will
got high.
forever not be able to be with Chad
Because you got high.
anymore.
Because you got high.
And that they have to grieve. And I just hope and pray that they find some compassion and forgiveness.
Brenn's requirement to raise awareness about the risks of marijuana comes amid the drug's normalization. The federal government is moving to reclassify it as a less dangerous drug. It's legal recreationally in 24 states, and manufacturers are creating more potent products.
A side note for some of you watching, it looks delicious, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm sure it does. Sure it does. What do you call them? Sticky nuggets? Oh, yeah. Nuggies. Okay. Obviously, if you smoke already, you're not suffering from psychosis, but just be careful. If you've never smoked before, yeah, this could make you just end someone with 3 different weapons 108 times. Okay.
That are more accessible than ever.
I see this not being good. We as a population are being exposed to things today that we just never really were even a possibility 10, 15, 30 years ago. It's not surprising that we would be seeing more people having some, increased incidence of some adverse effects. And,
why is he stroking? Why is he stroking that plant? Okay.
Cannabis-induced psychosis is the extreme of that. It's still very rare, but we're sitting here because it's happening.
I just hope that my story will save somebody else's life.
Brenn is appealing her conviction for that felony as she works to obtain a license here in Illinois to continue her career as an audiologist.
Because she got high. Because she got high. Even with psychosis induced by marijuana, still to go so far and to only serve 6 days, I think is absolutely ridiculous. It's mad. Have a nice day.
Three knives from the kitchen.